I dislike shooter games. Now, this may come off as a surprise since this is the biggest video game genre of all time, with competitive titles like Counter-Strike, Valorant, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege. If you talk about gaming, shooters are one of the first things that comes to anybody's mind. But most of these games I've mentioned are flawed. There's always some meta you need to follow because the game sucks without it, or the developers are just too greedy and don't care about maintaining the game. A fun shooter that comes to mind is Team Fortress 2, which doesn't have some specific meta that can instantly wipe the server because the game is pretty well balanced. It also has its issues that seem to be getting fixed. Which brings me to today's game, which, albeit isn't a multiplayer shooter, is still a shooter and a really good one at that. ULTRAKILL, which showed me what a fun shooter is supposed to be. Look, mankind is dead, blood is fuel, hell is full, and you are hungry. ULTRAKILL is a fast-paced retro FPS that is just satisfying to play. When I first saw a few glimpses of this game and a lot of praise for it, this was an instant purchase. And I don't usually do that for many video games, let alone shooters, because I'll be honest with you, I suck at shooters. That's why I don't like them. You got me. It's an oversaturated genre, and I just don't like having my keyboard positioned diagonally and my monitor 2 inches away from my face as I wait for a few pixels to move so I can click on someone's head. And that's why ULTRAKILL is great. The aiming part is important for any shooter game, obviously, but ULTRAKILL also brings importance to its weapons and how you use them. Each weapon has its own different quirks that, if you master them and their synergies, basically make you the new god of hell. Except for this one. If you use this one, you just suck. I didn't say that, that's canon. But alright, I know what you're thinking in that little noggin of yours. Doom. This is just Doom. You know, weapon combos. Why is this game special? And also, there's like a gazillion other video essays about this. Well, first of all, you're stupid, and second of all, this game isn't Doom. It's ULTRAKILL, bro. Like, what? People love comparing these two games, but it's like comparing apples to different apples. Doom has cool visuals full of gore and demonic stuff, while ULTRAKILL has similar things, but it's like inhaling substances you probably should not inhale. And it also has the coin revolver. The second gun you unlock in this game is arguably the most versatile weapon I've ever seen in a video game. All you're told is right click to throw a coin and shoot it while it's in the air so it splits into enemy weak points, but there's so much you can do with this goddamn coin. There are videos dedicated to discussing what you can do with the coin. This is spare change we're talking about here. Have you ever seen coin tutorials before? I don't think so. Don't get me wrong, I like Doom. Doom is cool, but ULTRAKILL is cooler. Literally, you have a style meter that goes up the more stylish your combos are. It encourages you to go absolutely crazy while you don't even understand what's happening on screen, and it actually serves a purpose. And I think it's way better than corner peeking. I've learned to shoot tossed coins better than headshotting enemy players. I've even tried punching coins in real life, but I just look insane. Fuck! ULTRAKILL has something of value that not many shooters consistently have. Fun gameplay. Big surprise. I know, it's very tough to just make something that's good as a big and greedy corporation, but ULTRAKILL does fun gameplay and makes it seem like a piece of cake. This game has no single gimmick that can be completely disregarded, nor does it ever feel too overwhelming. One might argue that weapon switching isn't necessary since you can kill most enemies with just one weapon, but learning to use your arsenal in various ways actually helps you get a better score after beating a level. Just the existence of the style meter alone forces you to try out some things that you otherwise would have never even thought of doing, all to get that score up. What I'm trying to say is that everything in ULTRAKILL has a purpose. And whilst that doesn't seem like a huge thing, think about it. How many games do you play that have mechanics that if you tell a friend about them, you'll say, well, that isn't all that important? Probably a lot. ULTRAKILL only has the stupid fucking screwdriver rail cannon, but besides that, every new mechanic that gets introduced isn't neglected later on. The game gives you a new red arm early on in the game, but most players won't use it because you can't really parry projectiles with it, and its true potential doesn't reveal itself until later when the game is like, oh yeah, remember that arm you got 6 chapters ago? Well, now it's very important, and introduces the these little guys. So now that's also a thing you have to keep track of, besides the multitude of weapons that each do completely different things, and also understanding the movement and how it works, because that also apparently has some hidden tech that the game doesn't tell you about. And oh my god, this game is fucking crazy. I love it. I don't think I have to spell it out for you, but if you haven't played this game, I recommend you do that. It's also in early access, so if you don't end up enjoying it, you can just wait for the full release and see if you change your mind. Especially since at the time of this video, the earlier parts are currently being visually remade, and oh man, they're really juicy. ULTRAKILL didn't make shooters fun again in the sense that now I can easily play a game like Overwatch without wanting to kill myself, but it gave me hope for the future of this stupid ass genre. This is the type of game that if you see an image of it on the internet, you almost feel a sense of pride knowing that you get the reference. No, not that pride. It'll definitely leave a mark on the indie gaming scene as a whole, and I wouldn't be surprised if after its full release, a whole lot of games will take inspiration from it. Which is funny because ULTRAKILL itself is also just a combination of two other games, Devil May Cry and Quake. I mean, go to your browser right now and type devilmayquake.com and see where it takes you.
You make even the devil cry!
I mean, yeah, the devil may cry. But alright, some of you watching are Greece gods, and you're probably thinking to yourselves, Daiorg, shooters are just too easy for me. This looks like a baby game. Yeah, well, have I told you that this game is addicting and bosses exist and they're fucking hard as shit? Well, two of them are. When I go ahead and pick up ULTRAKILL just for a few minutes to capture a specific thing, I just can't help but get sidetracked by fighting bosses in the sandbox for no reason. This wouldn't be a good shooter without some challenging bosses, and some of the main campaign boss fights are pretty difficult. I mean, one of the first real bosses you fight in this game will give you a pretty tough time on your first playthrough because he's made to act like a player, and if you haven't already mastered your arsenal and moveset by this point, V2 will definitely make sure you do. I almost quit playing entirely because I kept getting destroyed by V2, and I'm so glad I didn't because it only gets worse, and I'm a masochistic gamer, so you know. I said that two of the bosses in this game are fucking hard as shit, and the way you get to them is by getting a P rank on every level. Basically, you gotta beat every level without dying and also get an S rank on everything, and you'll soon understand why this is the requirement to get to them, because they'll kick your ass, that's why. Meet Minos Prime. Wait, no, that's not. Meet Minos Prime, the reason you'll probably want to quit playing altogether. Minos Prime is just a regular sized human that kinda looks like the Spot from Spider-Verse.
I am judgment.
But do not underestimate this guy and his weird way of speaking, because he will give you hell, which is funny because you're already in it. But Minos has one important weakness. He's a vocal guy for some reason. Before every attack, he will just say a phrase that is an indicator to what attack he's gonna do. So it goes like this: prepare thyself, you die. Thy end is now, you die. Judgment, you die. Crush, you die. And die, you die. Jokes aside though, this is one of the most fun bosses I've seen in a video game. What actually makes him difficult is using your weapons whilst also dodging his attacks, because if you just do nothing and analyze his moves, he's a somewhat easy boss. But once you introduce the factor of fighting back, he doesn't seem so easy, and he will make you die a lot, to the point that you'll just feel like that one image with like Sisyphus, I think, or something. Oh no. Yeah, so Minos is nothing compared to this guy, and ironically enough, fighting Sisyphus Prime makes you feel exactly like him. I don't know how Hakita did it, but man, this boss is just insane. And somehow, most of the time, dying will be your fault. Maybe you just didn't dodge properly, or you made a mistake, but you can't really blame the stupid game, and that's a sign that they did something right. Sisyphus also suffers from feeling the need to make callouts just like Minos, but he's also so devious that he has a few attacks that he just does without warning. The good part is that most of his attacks are parryable though, so fisting Sisyphus has never been easier. These two bosses are what changed the entire game for me. I was already having a good time with ULTRAKILL, but these showed me the developer's true potential in making a hard boss and made me love it even more. I also forgot to mention that before you get to Sisyphus, you fight a dozen waves of enemies that are almost as hard hard as the man himself. Like, there's a few big rooms where you fight what seems like a non-stop surge of different enemies, and there are no checkpoints during these rooms. If you die, you have to start all over from the beginning, which sucks big balls, but it's a good build-up to Sisyphus himself. In all honesty, the entirety of this game is so memorable. I don't think it's nostalgia, but there's a unique feeling I get when I play the levels of this game. They are all so unique in their own ways, and it doesn't feel like they just blend together. There's always something noticeable that differentiates them from one another, and the art style really helps with that. It's simplistic yet unique, and the design of every little goober in this game is extremely recognizable. There's not a single thing this game does wrong. Even the secrets are extremely good. There's a secret level that is just straight up a horror game. One just makes you solve puzzles. Another is literally power wash simulator, and also this one. Smash.
What the fuck?
So, in conclusion, ULTRAKILL is the type of shooter that I can actually be proud of playing. It's addicting, it's satisfying, and it's just everything you'd want out of a shooter like this. If you feel like you haven't punished the sinners of hell lately, then go play this game. Unfortunately, hell doesn't have YouTube subscriptions, so you should definitely hit the subscribe button so that I know you're not a demonic being.